Hello, everyone. Welcome to a slightly special episode of the Mediocre Company. And it's special because I'm not at our house, I'm at Andrew's house. And, like the Speed Force, where Andrew living inside my laptop needed someone to take his place, Clayton is the one inside of the laptop.
Ooh boy, here I go talking again.
So I'm one of your hosts, Eric, Mr. Poopy Butthole Wire. Like I said, living in the laptop this week is Clayton, Jedi Master, first of his name, ruler of
Protector
the seven,
of the realm.
something winky face. I didn't bring it with me, so
There's
I don't
definitely
know.
a winky face. We know this.
100% winky face. And then on
Good
this
enough.
lovely couch next to me is Andrew.
Hi guys, it's me, just Andrew.
Just Andrew. And
Just Andrew.
might I say, he is just Andrew.
That I am.
Jesus Christ.
So I've got very little bits of news this week because I've been really busy and not having a lot of time to do things. But you guys saw the Marvel Runaway teaser?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it.
You seem really excited, Clayton.
I didn't actually watch it.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh.
Why not? It's
No,
like a minute.
because you sent it, and I was playing video games, and then I was like, oh, I'll watch after this match, and then I forgot.
But I sent it last night. That's
Did you?
Yeah,
When?
last night at about 10:30 when I got home.
Oh boy, I don't remember that. I don't remember seeing it till like today.
Well, yeah, you were most likely asleep or not doing not checking your phone. Andrew and I had a full talk about it. Well, full talk. We
Oh, you did?
like a message
Oh,
and a half.
I must not have been paying attention.
Shocking. I don't know. It was pretty average.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it
Yep.
because they have me hooked.
Yep.
But it looks fine, and I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
It can't be worse than Inhumans.
I mean, you never say
True.
can't or cunt.
I will say both of those things whenever I see fit, Andrew. Don't tell me I cunt.
What?
Yeah, so I only have two other things of news. They released the first poster for the Constantine animated series.
Ooh,
Oh,
I didn't see
jeez,
this.
Rick, what? They're making a Constantine animated series?
On Seed?
Yeah, on Seed.
Cool.
Yeah,
What's
It's-
Seed?
it's the CW online thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing as
Oh.
Vixen.
Yes.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah, I mean the poster looked really generic. It had,
Is Manny back?
I don't know, I couldn't tell from the poster.
Oh.
But it was just Constantine in his trench coat, and then like shadow demons around him, and he just looked like he was content with the world. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan is voicing him again.
I'd hope so.
Good, he was good.
Yeah, not a good football player, but
Huh? I mean, he made it to the Super Bowl last year, so.
yeah, but he lost the Super Bowl. We watched that. That was just disappointing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
was
guess
good.
you could say he threw, but not in the right way, because he's a quarterback, but, like, he threw, like, the game, not the ball.
Yeah, they lost and stuff.
Yeah, I'm still butthurt about that. Anyways.
Yeah. And the other thing I have is Gore Verbinski is going to be directing the Gambit movie that I guess is happening.
Oh, they're still trying to do that. Why?
I'm not sure, but this guy directed the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, so not the shitty ones.
Okay.
He directed The Lone Ranger, Rango, and The Ring.
So, essentially, you're telling me that more likely than not, Johnny Depp will be in the movie?
Can only hope so.
I mean, I don't know. Anyone in the movie who's not Gambit will probably be more interesting than Gambit, because why the fuck are they making a movie about Gambit, so...
Because he's kind of a cool, like, guy who Twisted Fate ripoff that throws cards.
I mean,
He's like-
they've been trying to make this for a long time, and it's been canceled more
So
than
much.
once.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see if it happens.
I think Channing Tatum is still talking about doing it, but
I don't know, I just, like, there's so many cooler heroes out there. Why are they focusing so much thought and effort onto Gambit? He's like, even in just the X-Men universe, he's like one of the lesser cool guys. He's like C or D class,
I think it's because it's Channing Tatum.
I guess.
'Cause
Like,
he's
trying to pull a Ryan Reynolds right now, but at least Deadpool is interesting. I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well.
I'll probably watch it if it comes out.
I know you will.
I'm obsessive.
I don't know. I've
Really?
missed the last X-Men movie in theaters, so I might not. We'll see. I'm not super invested in the X-Men franchise. I'll watch their movies, but like I haven't really paid to go see them, and I haven't watched any of their TV. So
You didn't see Legion?
no,
8 episodes.
I've heard good things.
Short and good. And Gifted, the first episode came out.
Did you watch it?
Not yet. I'm gonna catch up on Inhumans first.
Okay.
But my
Riley's
parents.
pretty good though.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I heard good things. I don't plan on watching it.
No? Okay. So I guess that's all the news I have. Do you guys have anything fun and exciting?
One thing that I read, not really like breaking news or anything, but they revealed that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to come on directly after Inhumans.
Oh.
So, like, once Inhumans is done,
it'll lead itself.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's when we're going to get more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which, I mean, that's probably the best thing about Inhumans so
Inhumans,
far,
yeah.
that it ends, and hopefully we get more good Agents
Yeah.
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I saw that Ghost Rider was seen on set again.
Perfect.
So more Ghost Rider I'm okay with because I really liked him.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty much all I have to say with that.
Have either of you seen the first 2 episodes of Inhumans?
I put my hand up for everyone who isn't Andrew. I did, yeah. I watched them
down for
yesterday.
everyone who's everyone. So
Okay.
I didn't hate it.
I think it's getting hated on more than it needs to be, but it's definitely not like good, like quality content. It's very
Yeah.
fine.
It's
okay.
I was talking to Clayton when you were showering. It's better than Luke Cage.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait to see if it has any good episodes.
Yeah.
Because at least Luke Cage had like a couple like redeeming
I agree.
factors earlier on. Emphasis on earlier on.
pull the trigger. Bad word. I ain't got all day.
Thank you for not saying that, because I would have had to bleep it out, and that would have been a lot of work that I don't know how to do. So, thank you.
Well, you know me. I'm improving.
You are. You really are. Yeah, I don't. Right now, for the first episode I watched, I'd say it's about on par with the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Where
I was more invested in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I started that late.
Okay. Yeah, no, like Inhumans, even Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I haven't really like been fully on board because they haven't really sold me on it. Like
Yeah.
there hasn't been any like, oh, that was some great Inhuman shit. So just going into this, I already had like 0 expectations just
Yeah.
because I haven't had anything to look forward to, and like it's fine. Like I said with Runaways, like I'm gonna watch it because Marvel has me hooked into their system.
Yep.
But it's fine.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
very, very fine.
Lockjaw's good.
He is a good boy.
He's the goodest.
One thing that I want to mention about it, right now, it doesn't appear that Ramsey Bolton's character is going to be a villain. Because, like, he shot a dude,
Mm-hmm.
but he kind of seems like he gives a shit about the people.
Yeah, if anything, the people that are stereotypically supposed to be like the protagonists, they're being selfish assholes.
They're rich pricks that are,
Yeah.
like, ruling this, like, society that they keep pushing down and whatnot.
I think they could have done the whole concept better, but like not the concept, sorry, like the whole like
No.
they could have played it out better, but the concept is really good. Like
Yeah.
it has some redeeming like ideas behind it, and like stuff is compelling. It's just they're not selling us.
Yeah, it definitely does not seem like the writers are very good.
Mm-mm.
Because, like, there are some lines that I'm pretty sure that couch cushion over there could have delivered better. But,
Did you mean Anakin Skywalker?
no, I don't think he could have delivered them better.
I don't know. He's pretty fucking good at bad lines.
It's true, it's one of his many specialties. But right now, there aren't any younglings to kill, so I'm not sure if Hayden Christensen really could have sold it.
From my point of view, Inhumans is bad.
Actually, that's a lot of people's point of view.
True. I guess it'd be more crazy if I said from my point of view, Inhumans is fantastic.
Yeah, then we would have to get you checked out.
From my point of view, Inhumans is better than all the Netflix shows put together.
Wow, that is just racist.
Very false.
Yeah, very false.
I heard this one thing online. It's like Inhumans is probably gonna bomb and maybe not come back for a second season. But if we could get one thing out of the series, it's you could kill everyone else off. Just establish Lockjaw so he could come back in a Marvel property.
I would love to see Lockjaw in Infinity War, just teleporting people around.
Yeah.
Now, one more thing that I thought was actually not terrible about the show. Gorgon, the guy with the big hooves, he's like the satyr ripoff. He's in Hawaii and he's talking to some Hawaiians, and he's like, I gotta get back home. They say where? He says the moon, and these guys don't even flinch, which is good because if they were like, what? The moon? What do you mean? There's a real life dragon living in a mountain on an ancient city? That was Iron Fist. If anyone wasn't at home, anyone at home wasn't aware, but like. Aliens came through the skies. We've had a lot of shit. So the fact that there's probably people on the moon shouldn't shock people. Like,
see where I drew the line is when he's like, no, like these big man with hoofs for foot.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, these guys are coming. They're dangerous. You got to watch out. Like they're gonna try to kill me. But these guys, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna stay on the beach, man.
Yeah.
Like okay.
I thought it was great that Gorgon clearly knew he didn't know how to swim, yet walked far enough into the water that he was drowning.
Like, was he hoping to potentially be saved by the person that we've already established is dead?
Yeah, I guess.
And then what's the other Inhuman's name that went down to Earth with Gorgon? Asian.
Oh, Karnak.
Karnak. What's his powers?
Okay, so in the comics, he has the ability to find
the fault and everything, right?
Faults, yeah, weak points, faults. He's a master strategist.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's good at being like, all right, I'll do this. Essentially, Robert Downey Jr.'s character from Sherlock Holmes of the planning out to do things and then doing it.
Mm-hmm. So like I knew that much going in, but like for someone who wouldn't be familiar with like the whole powers thing or this character in specific. The only thing we got for this guy was, okay, he could rewind time,
possibly.
Maybe. That's one thing, and then the other thing is he has a built-in compass. And that's about it. That's what we got.
Yeah. So Clayton, he's this guy, master strategist, apparently probably smart. He gets stranded on Hawaii. He's like, I have to find my king. Instead of doing any thinking, he just takes like 3 steps, falls on his ass, like.
Why?
Because
like,
the show needs conflict.
10 minutes before, we see him rewind time before, like, he got killed, but it was just, like, his vision, I guess.
Yeah.
So he goes back in time and, like, fights all these guys and, like, evades, like, all this damage and whatnot. So it's like, wow, he could, like, he's untouchable, this guy. 10 minutes later, he's climbing up some rocks and he falls and destroys his head.
Yep. It's interesting.
Is he dead?
No,
he just has a flesh wound.
Yeah, apparently a minor concussion because he walked
Probably
in a circle.
Concussion.
Yeah, the concussion apparently brought him from this expert strategist who could potentially rewind time to, I have a compass in my head.
Boy, did he have a compass.
Wow, you guys are really selling me on this show here.
Yeah, boy, is it worth it. It's not. Clayton, did you have any other fun news? Because I want to stop talking about Inhumans for a bit. It's making me sad the more I talk about it.
News. There's... My dog got sprayed by a skunk last night.
Which one?
Daxter.
Oh, he's the good one.
I mean, good is relative. He doesn't need people, so...
Yeah, he's not as vicious as the other one.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's about it. Apparently, there was a huge screech that the other dog did because he's scared of everything, and then everyone in my family woke up except for me. And then they had to give Dower a shower. Wow, boy. Daxter a shower, and the shower's like right beside my room, and I still don't wake up. So my parent and my family just like, how the fuck are you, like, sleeping like a damn rock? I was like, oh boy, you underestimate the power of university exhaustion.
Yep, and the living on res life.
Yeah, living on fucking residence every day.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I don't really have any important, pressing comic book news, so. Oh, actually, the Battlefront beta is out, and I think it's on public access now if you look into it, so For anyone who listens to us. 4 people.
Hey, we had 9 last time.
Ooh.
What, really? Holy fuck, that's like a huge improvement.
That's almost double.
Alright, well...
What happened with that one episode where we got like 40?
I don't know. I think it was my aunt clicking into the video a bunch of times, but I don't know. I can't tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, alright, for those 9 viewers who are listening to us, if you want to try out the Battlefront beta, it's pretty cool. I like it better than the last one already, and it's only the beta, so... Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got from this.
A little, maybe depressing type of thing. Did you watch last week's on YouTube to like hear it?
No.
Okay, Clayton, did you watch it on YouTube? At
No.
all, like just like even a couple seconds to hear it?
Did it not work?
No. I just want to see how many viewers we have.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't click on it.
Clayton?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, I'm one.
All right, so
Okay, that was better than I thought it was gonna be.
yeah, no, I don't. I have to listen to it to edit through this. I don't have to listen to us fucking talk again.
That's understandable.
Yeah. You guys want to dive into the meat of the episode?
Sure, let's get into the meat. I'm gonna get that meat all inside of me and meat it up.
Oh boy, talking about our weekends. Just getting meat all up in
Thanksgiving
Clayton.
turkey.
Just really getting the meat up there.
Woo!
Yep. Andrew had a great idea to have a special Thankful Thanksgiving episode where we're going to talk about the nerdy related things that we're thankful for and enjoy and are happy that are around.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Inhumans. So you had a list down that I should have been more prepared for, but it was like TV, movies, video games,
And comic books or books.
comic books and books in general.
Yeah.
So like, do we want to just start all of your things you're thankful for? Or do we want to go
I
like
think let's go like movies,
Everyone talk
and then
about
we'll
movies.
go all the way
Cool,
around,
cool.
and then we'll move on.
Yeah. Are we doing like just one each, or how are we doing?
We
this?
could just have a stream and see where it naturally
Yeah.
takes us.
I mean,
I have like multiple for all 4, but obviously,
Same. I wrote out I wrote out 3 for all 4 because I wrote out my top 3 basically for all 4. So.
yeah. So we'll just see where it takes us.
cool. You
Alright,
guys
Gucci.
want to start with the movies?
Sure.
Might as well.
All right, Clayton. Seeing as you're inside the laptop now, do you want to kick us off with maybe a movie you're thankful exists, or a favorite movie, or
Well, my first movie that I wrote down is my all-time favorite. It's actually on the Discord screen right now. Star Wars: Revenge of the
Inhumans.
Sith.
Revenge
And,
of the Sith?
I'm probably gonna get chirped by that, or would if anyone listens to these podcasts. But fucking hell, I love the prequels, and Revenge of the Sith is my favorite movie. So I'm thankful for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know. Probably one of my all-time favorite movies is Ocean's 11, the Clooney Pitt remake. I don't know why. I just saw it as a child, and it was so mind-blowing and fun. And every time I watch it, I still have a good time. It's always entertaining to me.
Cool. Mine is The Big Lebowski.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
I haven't.
It's more of a cult movie. It's from the 90s. It's starring Steve Buscemi and Jeff Bridges and John Goodman.
Oh,
So
really?
we got some legends in there.
Yeah.
And it's just a very like nice movie. Like not a lot happens. Like it's not plot based. It's more just these characters are in this circumstance and how do they react. And like just like not a lot happens. It's just like a really fun, mellow movie that like chronicles the week-long adventure of these 3 friends.
Cool.
And the funny story behind that is the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, that was fine. It was on a basketball tournament in high school. So we had a 3-hour drive, and we didn't know what we were going to do. We wanted to watch a movie because obviously we wouldn't want to spend time talking to each
God.
other or bettering friendships.
Ugh.
So our driver, we had a DVD player in the car. Our driver, the only movie he had was The Big Lebowski. He's like, do you guys want to watch this? And we go, sure. So we put it in, watch it, and like, that was fine. Yeah, it was good. We still have another hour and a half, so naturally no one wants to change it. So it just plays again. I'm like, okay, the jokes that were funny the first time, it's funnier because you knew they were coming. And then the same thing happened on the ride home.
You saw it 4 times.
So I saw it 4 times in a matter of 2.5 days. And it just kind of sat with me. And the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. And then, like, months later, I rewatched it. I'm like, I think this is my favorite movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to dive into yours anymore? Or?
I don't know. I really don't have a fun reason to, like... I didn't watch the movie 4 times in a row. I just enjoyed it as a kid, and back then I didn't watch movies for any specific reason other than I just like action. I was all about, like, insane car chases, guys shooting guns all the time, and, like, that was my shit back then. So then
that was more of a science fiction kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, anything that had to do with aliens, even if it was shit, I liked it.
Yeah.
And then I grew up, and my dad kept trying to force me to watch them with him because he's a sucker for these stupid, brainless action sci-fi movies.
that was all me.
And now I'm not as on board. I like a quality thing or something
Yeah.
that's attached to a franchise
Yeah.
that I'm
100%.
invested in.
Me too. Yeah. Like, I used to love the Transporter movies, the Bourne movies. They were good action. So this one that wasn't hardcore action all the time and actually had to make you sit and think, it really, I don't know, just was like, this movies can be interesting without explosions and Michael Bay happening in the background.
Jesus
Michael Bay.
Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bourne movies weren't bad. Like, they had some plot at least,
Yeah.
like some kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, they did. They had a couple cool things.
Transporter movies did. Those are just bad. But
There's one of the best car chases I've seen was the opening scene to the first Transporter movie, and then if I remember correctly, it's a aggressive downhill slide from there.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
probably. I mean, I don't know. Fuck. I mean, Revenge of the Sith is like the first movie I remember seeing in theaters. Like, I'm pretty sure I saw movies in theaters before then. Like, this is like the first one I remember walking out of the theaters. Like, holy balls! And like, I don't know. I just loved it. Always loved it. It's just like the last like half an hour of that movie. I could literally sit there and watch it over and over again, and I don't get tired of it ever.
I know.
It's just like my favorite thing. I remember at one point in first year, me and Eric planned on actually acting it out.
Yeah.
we were gonna
Oh,
gonna grab like fake like little toy lightsabers and walk through the campus pretending it was Mustafar.
Yeah.
and do this fight. And we're gonna have our one friend follow us around and like throw the lightsabers to us as like he was gonna be the Force. It was the worst thing ever. We never ended up doing it, which is probably good because I mean,
yeah.
that was the biggest loser idea ever, but it was like the funniest thing.
It was
I don't
great.
know. It's just this movie is like my cult. It's like my fucking guilty pleasure. It's what I do when I'm sad. I YouTube the fights, and it's like, oh, I just fucking love this movie. So
Revenge of the Sith is the reason Clayton and I are friends.
Okay.
that's true.
So for my first homecoming in residence, I got too drunk and ended up missing the football game.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was hungover, I started watching Star Wars, and then had just been going through and just watching Star Wars on whenever I came to it. So I was on Revenge of the Sith. I was probably at about the Mustafar scene with my door open. Clayton hadn't really been really close to anyone on the floor. He kind of just chilled in his single room, played a lot of video games.
You guys were on the same floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he was walking towards the bathroom, and
He was
then
back from the bathroom.
back from the bathroom, and then all of a sudden there was this person in my room watching Star Wars with me, and I'm like, "Hey, did you want to keep watching this?" And he said, "Yeah." And I think he pulled up my chair, sat there, and quoted all the quotes I was quoting, and we were friends from there on out.
Yeah, pretty much. It
There
was
you
awkward
have it.
though, because like I walked past your room on the way to the walk, like, huh, and I walked back, and I was like, I think it was like leading up to like the fight on Mustafar or something like that, and I just kind of like slowly like came to a halt like in your door.
Yeah.
Crept back a couple steps and like stood in like the door frame, and then I think there was at one point I kind of like chuckled, and then you looked back and realized I was there.
Yeah.
Did you want to watch? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Just grabbed your desk chair and sat beside your bed while you were lying in bed watching it. We just fucking watched the movie together. It was the weirdest fucking thing ever.
It's great.
What happened directly after the movie ended?
Aggressive butt sex.
Oh boy. Here I go fucking again.
Just. I don't know.
I think I was pretty much just like, thanks, and then went back to my room.
Awkwardly walks back. That sounds like
But
Clayton.
But then the next like couple days or something, I think Eric invited me out to dinner, and I was like, yeah. And then from then on, like I started hanging out with him more and more.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fuck.
Just a little aside, because I think that's pretty much what this episode is going to be built off of. Who are your favorite Star Wars characters?
That's a tough question.
Well, if you said characters is in plural, it makes it a lot easier. Picking the
Yeah.
top one is hard, but
Go like top
Boba
like
Fett.
1 to 3-ish, and just a little
3?
reason why.
Fucking love Boba Fett. I know people like chirp him, but like he's fucking so cool. Just the unique and mysteriousness of him, and like everything he did was cool. And I just like how he looks. And then if you read any of the extra extended canon or anything like that about him, he's fucking awesome. Even though all of it's canceled now. Fucking love Obi-Wan Kenobi, specifically Ewan McGregor. Like since Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith, like I'm on board. He's like he's my favorite. He's the thing about the prequels, and probably the best thing about the prequels objectively, and he's fantastic. If I was gonna pick a third one, I don't even know. Probably like I don't even know. I don't even have like a standout third. It's between those two probably.
Probably up there with Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan. Really like Darth Maul, especially now that he's got more in the canon with Rebels and Clone Wars. And I'm just generally a big Liam Neeson fan, so I'm gonna end that one with Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah.
Nice. My favorite is Yoda.
Yeah.
He was always my favorite as a kid. Like I just got a kick out of this little creepy ass Muppet fucker. And he's just like he's so wise and blunt and like plays around and fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just have a fun time with him. And then I also really like Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Especially the stuff in the Clone Wars and Rebels. I just think he's a very fascinating and complex character where some other characters aren't as fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just cool seeing this guy who's not like strong on the evil side. Like I just want to dominate the galaxy or I need to save the galaxy. He's very much just in it for himself. He just wants to do what he wants to do, and I admire that, especially with the strong polarities of the Sith versus the Jedi. And he's just a cool, obviously more on the evil side, but he's just a cool dark gray area.
Yeah.
Now,
do what he wants to do. Did you mean kill Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Oh boy, did he give! I was actually going to talk about that. I'm sure I know Clayton did because we talked about him, but I'm sure you saw the episode where he fights Obi-Wan. And you noticed that he tried to do the same move.
Yes.
I thought that was such a cool nod. Like, it was so subtle but well done.
Yeah.
Just the fact that these writers of this kid show took enough time to mimic something he did in the first movie in episode 1. Like, I just thought that was really cool. And I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I love these big franchises, because of the tie-ins, the nods and references, and it's it just gets me so excited.
Yeah, no, I love that whole scene.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that we didn't get to see them fight a little bit, but I mean, we got a lot of that in the Clone Wars.
Exactly.
So if you ever want more of that, you could just always go back. But just the way that they ended that story in that way, I feel like it was a great send-off to the character, even though I would have liked to see more of him, just because everything that he was in I enjoyed.
Yeah, 100%. Did we want to go with another movie we're thankful exists? Thankful exists, or go to some TV shows, or
we can do movies round 2 or TV shows. I have plenty lined up, so.
Let's just, for all the topics, let's do one big one and like go around and talk about it, and then we could just throw out some other of our favorites.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Works for me. So we're gonna go TV shows next time.
Well, we'll list off a couple other movies that are on our favorite list without necessarily as much of a deep dive. Maybe just a couple send-off words to each one.
You want to kick her off?
Sure. Some of my other favorite movies include Up, the Disney Pixar movie. The characters are just so lovable and fun, and it's really complex and emotional.
Boy, is it.
And it just captures everything that I love about Disney and Pixar. And it's a great character piece.
Man, the first whatever 5 minutes or whatever, like where they show the love story for the old guy, is literally like it's funny because I saw the memes, like, this 5 minutes of the Pixar movie is, like, sadder than all the Twilight movies combined. But it's so true. Like, they literally put together, like, a heartbreaking story. Like, I felt a lot more for that story than I did for, like, Titanic or any other of those, like, sobby Notebook stories or whatever.
Well, not even just that. Like,
5 minutes for it to do it.
Yeah, like, they chronicled the whole, like, life.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. From them being, like, children to dying adults. And
it's sad.
Yeah, it's just powerful. Powerful shit.
Yeah.
It hits you. It hits you fucking deep, man. Like, you watch that and you're like, jeez, you got me.
Well played, Pixar. Well played.
WP fucking Pixar. Goddamn.
I really liked Fight Club.
That's on my top list.
It was the first time I watched it. Have you seen it, Clayton?
No.
Okay, then I'm not gonna spoil anything for you because it's fantastic. Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. I really like Brad Pitt thinking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of his things.
Especially like those days.
Yeah,
young Brad Pitt, Seven.
Yep.
Fight Club.
Yep.
Great.
Seven's like one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. So.
Yeah. Haven't seen it.
Ooh,
you should
that's
watch
also
it. It's
on my
like
top
it's
10
good.
list.
It's fucking good.
Yeah. There's so many movies on a list that I need to watch that I just don't have the time for.
Yes, see, I'm like that, but I'm guilty because like there's so many movies on this list of like movies that I should watch, and then I watch Revenge of the Sith again.
Yeah, see, I'm in the same thing. It's like, man.
Like I did that. I think I did that last semester. I was sitting around, or no, it was over the summer. I was sitting around and I was sad because the MCAT was making me sad. And I was sitting there and I was like, I'm gonna cheer myself up by watching a movie. I was like, what could I watch? I scrolled through Cody, saw all the movies on there. Scrolled through Netflix, saw all the movies on there. Watch Revenge of the Sith again.
Nice.
Just happened. I was like, you know what? I could watch these movies, but I just feel like Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And like so there's so many movies I should watch, but then I just keep doing that over and over again, and it fucking takes me so much longer to get through stuff now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you have any more, Clayton?
The next one I had on the list was Return of the King, Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I love me a Lord of the Ring.
Oh, I know you do. That's like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings is probably like my favorite trilogy ever. Because like Star Wars is like a saga, and I like to put them all together. It's my favorite like saga or like
Franchise.
Series or whatever. But like Lord of the Rings is just like the self-contained three movies in that trilogy. We're ignoring The Hobbit right now. It's like I fucking like I can watch those over and over again. And Eric saw like I sacrificed my body to watch Return of the King the one time.
God. So one of our roommates, Evan, got invited to this girl's house to come watch Lord of the Rings with their roommates, and he's like, I haven't seen it. Do you guys want to come with us? And we're like, yes, of course.
100%.
So we get there, and they're like, yeah, we're going to watch the extended edition of Return of the King, which for anyone who doesn't know, it's 4.5 hours. So that happened. And then there weren't enough seats on couches, so poor Clayton spent 4.5 hours without moving on a beanbag chair.
Oh,
I
boy.
thought it was going to be worse, but...
I don't know if he stood up straight on the walk
stood
home.
up and I was like, well, I no longer have it back. It's broken. It's
It was
gone.
good. It was fun to watch him struggle.
Like Christian Bale at the mid part of Dark Knight Rises there, like fucking dead.
That was the same night we had to remind his our roommates' friends' roommates that Clayton and I actually aren't a couple. Because the amount of jokes we kept making and stuff like that, we had to actually remind her that we are not
lovers.
Yes. That was fun.
Oh god.
I still see them a lot.
I see Victoria. She's in the classroom after me, so like I see her walking in as I walk out of the classroom a lot of the times. But she's the only one I see.
Yeah, all three of them are on my softball team, so I hang out.
True.
Yeah. Got any more movies or?
One of my favorite comedies of all time that I always go back to is Superbad.
It's so good.
Oh my god.
The best.
It's so good.
It encapsulates everything that comedy movies are good for, in my opinion. Because I'm not a big comedy movie guy. Because I have a hard time relating. Just we're gonna try to make you laugh for 2 hours. I like smart comedies or when they incorporate it into other things. Like Marvel does a great job with comedy.
Yeah.
They incorporate it into the action and they make it rewarding for the fans. So that's why I don't really like comedy. It's because that they're trying to do that, and I have a hard time relating to it because it's so like, haha, laugh now.
Yeah, it's now you're gonna laugh.
But Superbad, it's just funny every time.
Yep.
It's quotable. The story's good. It's cool seeing all these like big name actors when they were just getting started, and it's great.
Yeah,
It's good shit.
I watched that the other day because I was like, I don't know what to watch, but I want to watch something. And I'm like, it was just on Netflix. I'm like, done. Committed. It was great.
McLovin.
Yep, gotta love him. Clayton?
Don't even have a first name. Just McLovin. That's funny. That scene in the liquor store is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
It's so bad. The other movie I had written down was Gladiator. Any of you guys seen Gladiator? Russell Crowe?
I haven't.
I have not.
Fucking watch it. It's so good. It's like one of those like individual movies comes out of nowhere and it's just like amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, like 10 out of 10 would recommend. I think we have. I think it was Ridley Scott was the director on it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure like my dad has the DVD and it has like his autograph on it. I don't know how it has his autograph on it, if he bought it like that or whatever, but like yeah. So I'm pretty sure I have an like Ridley Scott autograph DVD version of Gladiator, and it's like
That's
I watch
sweet.
that shit a lot.
Now, just so everyone can keep track at home, Andrew just put on Charizard slippers. And
My
they're
feet are
fucking
cold.
amazing.
Jesus.
I don't know. I definitely have more favorite movies, but I can't think of one right now. I really should have wrote it down like you guys, but I'm not prepared.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh boy, here it goes being unprepared again.
Oh, I was so unprepared. I was just not ready to pack yesterday. I was leaving and just didn't.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, it was a mess.
It's like your school life.
Yeah, that's even more of a mess. God.
Can move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't have any, we don't have to go through it.
I've got some TV shows that I know I enjoy, so maybe I'll kick that one off.
Okay, sure. Let's shuffle on into television.
Well, one show that I've discovered recently that I'm 100% thankful of is Rick and Morty.
Okay.
True.
It's so fun. It's so smart. I don't get bored of it. I've seen almost all the episodes 4 times. Like I just can't get enough of that show. It's just so good.
That shit is a cult following, and I'm in deep.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I am in deep.
Yeah.
I mean, my vocabulary now consists of some English and then mainly Rick and Morty quotes
Oh,
at this
yeah.
point, so
I would
that's
say
how I talk half the time, so.
yeah, 70% of my dialogue is Rick and Morty quotes. And I'll just on my car ride home with my dad, 7 hours, I would just be talking and then in casual conversation quote Rick and Morty, laugh to myself, and just get this strange look from my dad. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's kind of stuff that we do together,
Yeah.
and like we both get it, so we always laugh, and then we do it in front of other people, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I did it today. I was playing Dead by Daylight, and the killer started chasing me, and then I started like freaking out and yelling. I was like, get out of my personal space! Over! Stay out of my personal space! This is my personal space. Leave! And then I went through a doorway, and then threw like the pallet down onto him and stunned him. I was like, we have fake doors, bitch! And then I ran and got away. And Carter was like, are you okay?
Oh, so good.
Oh boy.
Andrew?
I mean, I keep saying it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Soon.
You know what? If you don't, when I come back for Christmas, if you haven't, I'm sitting you down.
I promise you, I will have watched it by Christmas.
Good.
Or at least have
started it. At least started it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start it sometime this month. That's like the end goal.
Yeah, it's easy to watch too. Little 20-minute episodes here and there. Like even if you're busy, they're easy.
Yeah,
to
I'm
watch,
probably
so.
gonna watch one episode every morning with breakfast.
Yeah.
That's
That's
probably what
fair.
I'm gonna do.
I think you're strong enough that you can handle that.
Yeah.
Because I know I was like, I'll watch 1 or 2 a night, and then 3 hours go by, and I'm like, I've watched 6 episodes, 7 episodes.
There goes the first season.
Yep.
That was like Death Note for me, like, because the beginning was amazing. I
Yeah,
started it
insane.
at 8 p.m. and then I looked over at the clock and it was 5:30 in the morning, and I was over halfway through the series.
Jesus.
So yeah, no, that was a day, literally. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it'll be watched. I want to do it for you.
Thank
I
you.
want to do it for my other friend group who also quotes it,
Good.
and I feel excluded
You
and
should.
bullied, and I want to talk to somebody about it, but I know watching it will fix it.
So Clayton, I think we just need to exclusively talk to Andrew in Rick and Morty quotes until we get some sort of recognition from what we're talking about.
Oh boy, here I go bullying again.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right.
Do you have a favorite show?
Who are we going into
Oh,
next?
sorry, I pointed at and looked at Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm not good at social cues at
It's fine.
times, apparently. I talked about it before on the podcast, but my favorite show ever is Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly Z, because that's what I have the most sentimentality and
Right.
nostalgia with. But it's so important to me because that's what I grew up with. Like, that was I look forward to every Friday night on YTV.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first things that I was ever like hardcore fanning about. Not the first, but definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that there's so much of it that's been coming out like my whole life that just different things just line up with different parts of my life. And I mean, not a whole lot of plot happens, especially in Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z has the least amount of plot of the 3 series. I'm not counting GT. It has the least character development of all 3, but it's so fun, and you could tune into any episode and they're probably going to be yelling.
Probably.
But it's just these characters, they're so captivating and fun to watch, and yeah, that's what I grew up on. So Dragon Ball Z is very much, that's my childhood. That's what I associate with it. Dragon Ball, the original, is high school, because that's when I decided to rewatch the whole series.
Right.
And that was a journey, because there's some ups and there's some downs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some of it's some pretty hard stuff to watch. Just,
Really?
It's not the best. and-
Oh, okay.
yeah, but it's good. And now with Dragon Ball Super, they're doing such a good job with it.
Yeah.
Of the 3, this is probably the best because they're doing character development and they're doing like plots that aren't just, okay, who's the next big bad guy we gotta fight.
Mm.
So now that's very much my college years. So just for every aspect and every phase through life, there's been Dragon Ball.
So you're telling me, for every part of your life, you've had balls to fill the gaps in your life?
Yes.
Good.
Not just any balls, specifically Dragon Balls.
Dragon balls, which some might say are the best type of balls to have fill gaps in your life. Fill your holes.
Alright, that's enough out of you.
I can sense the disappointed look on Clayton's face. I'm used to him sitting there and giving me those looks, so...
Very true. Alright, so does that make it my turn?
Yes.
If you want.
Well, I mean, I guess. So,
You're your own person.
I sat down to think about it, went through all the TV shows I watched in my head, and the one that came to mind first and kind of stuck around, which I guess I'm going to say is my favorite, we've also already talked about on the podcast in depth, so I probably won't go too much into it, but it's Daredevil, Netflix show.
Really?
Fucking love it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I've watched it a lot of times and love Daredevil, love the acting, I love the show, the plot, everything about it, so I mean, and again, I sat down to think about it, and the first thing that came to mind was that, and it just stuck. So, yeah, I'm going to give my top one to Daredevil. But,
Nice.
I mean, again, we've talked about the Netflix shows and Daredevil and all them a lot, so
Yeah.
I really don't have to go over it again. So,
Do you have like a secondary favorite? Because that was like 35 seconds of talking.
yeah, the next one I had written down was Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one you haven't watched this year. But
Yeah.
every
It's funny,
other
the
year.
other day I was like, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I remember I mentioned, like, oh, I gotta watch Full Metal Alchemist again yet. I haven't seen it this year yet, and Eric just looked at me like, are you okay?
Everyone's got that
But yeah,
shit.
I mean, I can give a blurb on that. It's a good old, I like to refer to it as the beginner's anime. It's like, not as anime as most other animes, but it's like, still anime, so it's like an introduction if you're gonna start watching it, it's a good one to start. It's a story about 2 brothers fighting things and losing their bodies and shit. It's good. I don't know. I like the action and the jokes is really good, and there's some good plot. I should probably specify Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the one I like better, because there is 2. But,
Sure.
yeah, I don't know. it's good. There's a lot of like sad story and fun story and good story and action story, and there's just plenty of stuff. It's fun.
From the few episodes that I saw of it, I didn't hate it. I mean, I can only do anime in short periods of time, so like, the fact that I didn't go, oh, this grosses me out, is probably a good sign.
Fair enough.
Now, here's a show that I know we're all thankful exists.
Don't say Inhumans.
Oh, fuck. Alright, I'll actually say the real answer. Game of Thrones.
Oh, boy.
Like,
Yeah.
that is just some good quality television.
I agree.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, have we talked about our thoughts on the first 6 seasons? I know we had a real good season
Probably.
7.
Not really. I don't think.
No? Did we not mention it at all?
I'm sure we referred.
Oh,
But
there you go. We could do a full Game of Thrones episode one time.
Because if we're going to do that, then don't dive too deep into it now.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like the whole show in general. The characters so gray and complicated and deep, and it's so much fun. It's so all over the place.
one of my favorite things about it is it's so cultural and like relevant right now. This is the big thing that's going on. It's like what probably the 3 Star Wars movies were when they came out in the 70s, 80s?
77,
and 80s.
80,
Okay.
83.
And what Lord of the Rings was in the early 2000s. This is like the big fantasy sci-fi thing right now, and it's really cool to be a part of it as it's coming out, not just respecting it and admiring
Later
it after
on.
the fact. And this is also coming from someone who started it late.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Clayton, you started right from season 1, or?
No, I think I started it as season 3 was almost over, but like I didn't watch season 3 up to date. So the first season I started watching weekly was season 4.
Oh, okay.
Fake.
Alright, come from you guys. When did you guys start it? I know Eric's fucking late as hell.
Yeah, season 6 was my first weekly watch through.
Season 6 is my first weekly watch through too.
Fake fans.
I remember when that would come out. Andrew and I would come into work and be like, "Did you watch it yet? Oh my god, wow, it was wild." Yeah, then we would just like in the change room. We'd probably punch in 3 minutes late because we're fangirling over Game of Thrones.
I mean, I respect that on a spiritual level.
Yep.
I think I've also mentioned it before on the podcast, but how I started Game of Thrones was I knew I wanted to watch it, and season 6 was about to come out, so let's see. 50 episodes would have been before that, right? So 50 days before season 6 came out, I watched 1 episode a day for 50 days. So all the seasons kind of blur together for me.
Yeah.
And then as soon as season 6 hit, it was great, but painful.
That
it's
wait?
Like 1 a day for 50 days.
Yeah.
To one a week with like a year in between seasons. And it was hard.
I don't doubt it.
Well, get ready for tears in between seasons, boys.
Yeah.
Everyone's in physical pain right now.
Yeah. But there we go. We got an episode topic down the line.
Down the road.
Down the schnook.
Yep. Very much down the schnook.
Fuck. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Another favorite show, or did you want to switch gears?
My second favorite show of all time, and it's very, very close, because to what Dragon Ball was to my childhood, this show was more so.
Right.
And it's one of those things that I'll go back and rewatch episodes when there's nothing going on or when I can't pick something, is Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh boy.
I think I remember that one.
Oh, it was another one of the YTV ones that was on later at night, and it's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz is my son.
Okay.
Bryan Cranston's my father. And that's how that goes. It's a great show. Really fun.
Yeah.
Fun characters. They do cool things with it, and I love it for what it is, and it still holds up.
Nice. Clayton, did you have...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, did you have another one, or thoughts, opinions, or...
I mean, Malcolm in the Middle, I watched a couple episodes here and there. I don't remember much about it, but, like, yeah, it was funny when I watched it. The third one I wrote down was it's real close to my heart. Special girl in my life there.
Oh boy.
It's Korra.
Korra.
It's Korra. Legend of Korra. My champion, apparently. Fucking goddamn. Eric knows how much I love Legend of Korra. Because I'm pretty sure I didn't shut up about it for like second year.
Oh my god. Almost from the beginning of second year until he started dating his current girlfriend, the amount of times I would hear, I wish Korra was a real person, or why can't I date an anime character, or why, like, at least once a day, maybe more.
What's your favorite season?
Oh, 3.
3?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Same.
see here.
Yeah, he was pretty wild.
He was the best villain. I love Korra in every single season. I love Mako and Balloon in every single season. So, like, the biggest, like, separator is the villain, and Zahir is the best villain.
Oh,
So, or in my opinion, he's the best villain.
I remember something that we meant to talk about a couple weeks back, but the Legend of Korra graphic novel came out a while back.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Clayton
yes, it
picked
did.
it up. Do you wanna talk about that at all?
Sure, it starts off at pretty much at the end of season 4. Korra and Asami going for their vacation in the spirit world. You read it too, right, Eric?
Yep.
Yeah, so it starts off basically they're just romping around the spirit world, doing cool things, lesbian things, looking at things, their spirits. It's fun. It's a nice little kind of like, oh, that's cute. Coming right back to the fray. Basically, this guy who technically owns the land where the spirit portal was created at the end of the fight with Kuvira was like trying to make an attraction park out of it or whatever, and Korra's like, no. And then spirits are like, oh, you better protect us or we're gonna like do bad things, because they want her to close the portal, and she's like, no, we're gonna leave it open and I'll make sure it's cool. And then there's a thing with a new triad member or a gang member, whatever. He's pretty cool. He's got like, what are they called? Those you know what the weapons are called, Eric? The little the metal hook things. Do you know what they are?
No.
I don't know what they're called either. I used to back when I did
Three-dimensional
karate or
maneuvering device.
whatever. But sorry.
The 3D dimensional moving device from Attack on Titan, potentially.
That goes over my head.
Okay.
Like the
Stupid.
How dare you?
Oh.
I mean, Clayton has seen the show. He might understand the reference.
I'm lost. I missed something in translation here.
It's fine. Moving on.
I heard Attack on Titan and got excited, and then I didn't hear the rest of it.
Something about three-dimensional moving devices?
Oh, the little grapple things on the waist.
Yep. Moving on.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know. The choreographed
I'm gonna
novels, it's
drown
fun, it's
myself
cool.
in the sink.
What?
Andrew's just got regret face going on about his comment.
I don't understand. I don't like being in the laptop. How do you do this, Andrew?
I'm not gonna be around much longer. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's saddening. I liked you.
Sorry,
Not a lot of people get that praise, so
we keep derailing you.
it's okay. There's not much else to it. It's a fun. It didn't go too in depth because it's the first one of like a series or whatever. So it just kind of like got you back in the area and
Was
set
it
up
like
the
the
conflict
first
for the rest of the
issue
time. So
or a first book?
it's the first like issue. It's like a
Okay.
comic series or a
Okay.
graphic novel series. So it's like the first issue of the coming like graphic novel collection. I guess I don't know how to term that.
Yeah, that's one of my next, not in the near future, but my next potential like big purchases is I want to get the collected editions of the Avatar and when they come out the Korra graphic novel, because I have them in my Amazon cart, just haven't got around to buying them. But there's like 4 or 5 Avatar ones, and each are like $40, and I really want to get more.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the Avatar ones around, but I haven't read them. I probably would. I just don't know if I want to pay for them.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Yeah. Money is a struggle.
Yep.
Or not having it, I guess, is the
Yeah,
actual
that's
struggle.
the issue. Did we want to keep talking shows? Switch gears?
Have you guys seen Breaking Bad?
I have not.
I watched the first couple seasons and got bored, stopped watching.
Okay. Cool. I've seen
I
it.
heard it was good.
I was gonna-
I
I've
heard
seen-
the
I've
latest
seen it
seasons got a lot
twice.
better, but I couldn't commit to get that far, so I just kind of let it go.
You got to get past the first season and a half. That's pretty
I
much.
was
the
like
rule.
I think near the end of the second season, I was still like having trouble, so I dropped it.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5 are all really quality stuff. Like
what I've
when
heard.
everyone says like Breaking Bad's the best show of all time, it's the last seasons that they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Uh,
I
it
definitely
really
see
gets
like
its
why
footing.
people would like it. Honestly though, like I'm not overly into like the category, like the topic of the show or like the content like in it, like the whole drug trade or whatever, like all that stuff. Like that as a subject is not really interesting to me. Same with like Narcos. Like a lot of people love like Narcos and stuff. I'm like I just don't really care about the subject matter. It's not like superheroes where I like, oh, I love superheroes, so I'll watch whatever comes out. It's like I don't know, I'm not into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I saw it once by myself, and then I watched it again with Aaron there, and yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those shows where I wouldn't put someone down for watching it, and I bet it probably is pretty good. It's just as a personal preference, it's not something I like or I'm really into.
Bryan Cranston's also one of my favorite people
He's
ever.
good at what he does.
So I just
good.
everything that he makes, I just want to watch and love him.
Have you
I
guys?
respect that.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Mr. Robot?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's
You know I
on the
haven't.
list.
I know you haven't. It is really good. Lots of twists and fun turns.
Okay,
Recommend it.
I like shows with twists and turns.
Yeah. I think there's only like 12 episodes in the first season, so you can really get through it. I haven't seen the second season. I don't know if it falls off or gets better, but first season definitely worth.
And there's a third season coming out too.
I assume so.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Lost?
I haven't.
Oh boy. I haven't, but one of my close friends and also Eric's close friend, he's a roommate of ours, like fucking raves about that show all the time.
His
So
all-time favorite.
Okay, cool. That's a journey of a show.
Yeah, I've heard.
I would like to watch it someday. I would.
I'm not gonna say this is the reason why we got so close, but on our 1 month anniversary, Aaron and I started our first show together, which was Lost, and it definitely brought us closer together. It's a journey of a show. It gets fucking weird at times, and it very much strays from the island survival concept. Not quickly, but over time it just gets further and further from that. But
Next thing you know,
it's a
you're like,
really cool, enjoyable show, and it's one of those shows that there's a lot of characters. So like each episode there'll be stuff happening, but there's a focus on one character, and you
Right.
get their backstory. So you grow with these people, and it's a journey. It's a good one.
How many seasons?
I believe there's 5.
Oh, is there 5? I thought there's 8.
Okay, 5 isn't bad. Five
is not
seasons
bad.
is definitely doable.
I'm pretty sure 5.
Like 22 episodes a season.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
when
definitely.
you say like they stray from the island survival thing, like on a scale of 1 to like Castaway to Oliver Queen and Leanne Yu, how far do they stray from the island?
By the end of the show, there's aspects of different dimensions in time travel.
Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
That is not the show I thought it was.
There's,
Okay,
then.
actually,
there's
honestly,
six. There's 6 seasons.
Fuck.
That piqued my
Interesting.
interest a little bit more. to be
Yeah, me
honest.
too.
I did not. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what?
it very much starts as island survival, and it goes far beyond that.
Is Lost J.J. Abrams?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe I'll give that a watch maybe summer. I probably can't commit to it until summer. Maybe next summer I'll watch Lost.
I might, once my girlfriend and I finish Westworld, I might see if she wants to watch Lost.
Ooh, Westworld, that's another. Oh, fuck. So many shows.
I
so
know,
many shows.
right? Too
Only I
much
can
TV.
stop time and just watch TV for a year.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of the show Person of Interest?
I've seen ads for it on TV,
Yeah.
like, tune in Tuesday for
Yeah.
Person of Interest.
It's another J.J. Abrams show, and it was probably one of my favorite shows throughout high school.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun.
Like, weekly show you
Yep.
watched? Okay.
Yep. Yep, every Tuesday night, my dad and I. It was really good.
One of
He's-
the only things your dad would do with you.
Yeah. He started to lose interest as it got less cop procedural and more sci-fi, where that's why I went, oh boy, this is getting fun. So like, it's a good time. I think there's 5 seasons as well, so
Cool.
it's a good watch.
Have you guys seen
Is it
Hannibal?
over?
Yes, it finished.
Oh, okay.
Clayton saw Hannibal, I think.
Okay.
Oh, Hannibal? Yeah, I saw the first season. No, did I see 2 seasons? How many seasons are there?
There's 3.
There's 3. I think I watched the first 2 all the way through. And then I think I stopped in the 3rd season because something came up and I forgot about it.
Okay.
First season was like, I remember watching the first season, and I was like, holy fuck, this is like the greatest show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Second season was like, this is still really good, but it was like not quite as good as the first season. And then the third one, I remember watching the first couple episodes and was like, it's fine, it's good, but it's not great. And then I remember something else came up, and I just forgot about it and dropped it. But yeah, the first season like of Hannibal was like, I think I was addicted to it, like hardcore addicted to it. I could not put it down.
Yeah,
so.
For sure. Just like he is with people. Yeah, no, I watched it on Netflix the first season and a half, and then I caught up with the weekly, and
oh, yeah?
it was so fucking good. Like, I loved all of it. I loved the characters. I could see where you're saying about, like, say, season 2, but it didn't lose me. I was there the whole time. The first couple episodes of season 3 are slow, but it builds up to a great, great payoff.
I don't doubt that. Matt Mikkelsen was like, just all around the show was really good. So I'm not gonna say he made the show, but like if it wasn't for Matt Mikkelsen being cast as Hannibal, like that was like a big part of its success. I felt because I thought he did such a good job of being a complete sociopath.
Yeah, no, for sure, and it's like Silence of the Lambs is regarded as one of the best movies ever. I like this a lot better.
Yeah.
I think it's much more geared to people of like our generation, just because of the pacing and whatnot. So that's where I'm coming from, but it was just such a good, captivating show that's super dark, but the characters are so compelling, and I love like the switch up from the Anthony Hopkins to the Mads Mikkelsen, like very, very different. Like it sets both them apart like significantly. They're very, very different things, even though they use some of the same concepts and the same characters. But boy, was it good.
Honestly, I remember watching the show, and this is gonna sound weird and kind of creepy, but I like admired Hannibal in the show, like Mads Mikkelsen, like the way he basically like he played everyone like a fucking fiddle, especially for the first season. Like they kind of found him out in the second season at the end, I think, but for the first season, like he literally was in charge of like he pulled every string, played every person. I was like, you, my man, are the smartest man in the room at all times, and I respected him on such like a high level. And I know it sounds weird because he's technically a serial killer, but like whatever, you know, like I don't know, I just like he was like, I watched the show and I was like, I fucking respect you for who you are because you're just one step ahead of everyone, and it's incredible to watch. It was like I loved watching that because of how like smart he was and how smart the show was. Like that's what really set it apart for me from other random like copy like murdery shows. Like he was just smarter than everyone.
Yeah.
Speaking of serial killers, did you guys see Dexter?
Time out before we get into that. Just to bring it to a little bit more of a fucked up level. Obviously, we don't eat people, but some of those fucking dinners, they look good.
Look delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were times in first year when Clayton was watching this where he goes, they make people look so good.
It's true.
It is, honestly, like, if someone served me that, and then, like, it was on the plate in front of me, and I had taken one bite, and they said, that's a human being, I don't know if I would have stopped. And don't, like, arrest me for that. But, like, I don't know, it just looked so good, and I feel like it would have tasted delicious, and I would have been like, okay, but the person's already dead, so whether or not I eat them isn't going to save them, right? Like, I don't know.
I mean, that's assuming you enjoyed the taste of human. Like, I assume they would have made it good enough that people would enjoy.
Well, I mean, the amount of times he feeds human to other people on that show, and they have no idea, is fucking hilarious to me. Like, it's the police captain or whatever, like the director. It's Lawrence
like,
Fishburne,
he's going
right?
over for, like, weekly dinners.
Yeah,
and the show
like
takes place over,
dinners.
like, probably
human.
2 or 3 years.
That's fantastic.
Fucking got him. Fucking, oh, it's so good. Such a good show.
And just to give you an idea of how smart Hannibal was, Lawrence Fishburne started to get suspicious of him, so he took some of the food home to take a sample, and he gave him normal food that one time.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like he was so smart and ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dexter.
Yeah, did you guys ever watch
Dexter's
Dexter?
so good.
I've never seen it.
Me
It's
neither.
it's on the list.
Yeah,
It's another one of those like
I,
big epics.
100%.
If you watch the first, I think it's 3 or 4 seasons, fantastic. Watch the next couple seasons, really good. And the last season is I'm not gonna say don't watch the last episode, but like take it with a grain of salt, because
It's more
I don't
of the journey thing as opposed to the final payoff.
Well, they did it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, wrong I guess is relatively objective, whereas TV is subjective. But like, I just didn't like the way they ended it. Because like the beginning of that show, like I remember watching the first episode of Dexter, and then I think I watched the first 7 episodes of Dexter. And then, because it was like it was a weekend day, I started it, and it was during summer, and I just watched it, and then it just happened. I looked at the clock. I was like, boy, I should sleep. But, like I was addicted to that show for a very like long time, and then I was disappointed in the ending. And like the last season itself was like fine, but it was not as good. But yeah, the first couple seasons are standout. Like they're so good.
Cool. Any more? Go ahead, Clayton.
I was gonna say it's so awesome. Like Hannibal and Dexter and like shows where like the protagonist is technically the bad guy, or like the protagonist is the serial killer. Or,
You're
like,
rooting
the
for the bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're rooting for the murderer because I mean Dexter's kind of different because like he murders murderers, so he's basically like just a fucked up like Punisher, but like smarter. Like
Isn't
not
the
like
Punisher
just a blatant
fucked
like
up Punisher?
murderer. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's a good show. I'd say.
Hey, man.
Seasons, I think.
No. Stop. You cut out a bunch.
Shorter, and you can get through.
No. No.
Because you have this. But
Man, you're having some tech difficulties.
You're seizing. This is what happens to me.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still talking.
Do you guys want to have any more shows to talk about, or do you want to switch to like video games and books and shit, or?
Just to end off our fucked up characters of the shows, in no world should I ever be captivated and rooting for a guy who manipulates and murders people. But a good show will make you.
Well, yes, and apparently it also happens in the States. Because Trump is the protagonist of Dexter, where you should not be rooting for him, but for some reason people do.
at least Dexter's likable though.
Yeah.
Trump's a cuck.
That's a good word.
A good cuck.
Yes. Much cuck.
I like cuck.
Alright, we're done.
Okay. Books or games?
Do you want to
Dealer's
do
choice.
quickly do some books? Because then I know
Sure.
Clayton plays a lot more video games.
Okay.
I mean, I have 3 for books too, but that's alright. Who's going first?
I'm not much of a reader, but I read everything Tolkien has written about Lord of the Rings, mainly because I'm obsessive. So I would probably put that on my favorite all time things that I've read.
Cool.
Tolkien as itself.
Tolkien, not everything Tolkien has written, but just everything relating to Middle Earth that he's written. Because he wrote a couple short stories for his kids and a couple other things that were just fantasy stories that I'm sure are good, but they're not tied to Middle Earth and Lord of the Rings and all that. So I kind of just didn't bother.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Clayton or Andrew? Rock, paper, scissors, battle to the death to figure out who's gonna speak.
Rock, paper, schnook.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Schnook wins.
Did.
I'm not much of a chapter book reader, mainly because I can't fucking do it. I've tried. I used to be able to, but now I fall asleep and I can't put myself in the world. So comics and graphic novels are my lifeblood.
Yeah.
In terms of reading. My first introduction to anything comic related or graphic novel related was the Bone Saga.
Oh, those are so good.
So the story of that, I'm gonna say that's maybe my favorite book series of all time, just because it was the first that just turned into this obsession of collecting comic books and graphic novels. But I was at the Scholastics Book Fair in grade 2, and I'm walking around, and I see this book. It's Bone, the Great Cow Race. Not even the first one in the series.
Is that 2 or
it's
3?
the second. And it just looked like wild. It looked like such a fun time. And I went home. I'm like, Mom, I really want to like read. Like, I just tried to sell this whole like I'm gonna get smarter and read and blah 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 blah. So I got the money and I buy the book, bring it home, and she's like, "What the fuck? This isn't a book."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, it is. There's words and stuff, but like the pictures are fun." Anyway, so that was probably the first book I ever read was Bone 2. Then that Christmas, my mom told my aunt and uncles that I really liked this series, so they bought me 2 more, and then I just went from there. So I've been reading them since the 3rd one. I had to wait for the 4th one to come out.
Oh yeah.
So that was another one of those things where it was a journey because I was waiting like 2 years in between books for them to come out to see where this story goes. And I could have read them all in black and white because they were released in black and white.
Why would you do that?
Before, but like no, I'm on the color train.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a fantastic series. It's just so heartwarming and like fun, and it has dark aspects, and yeah, that was my first intro to books, and definitely the first intro into comic books.
Yeah.
And it just grew from there.
Sweet. I mean, I read a couple of the Bones books. I didn't read all of them though. I liked them when I read them, but yeah.
What about?
That's about all I have to contribute to that one.
Yeah. Any favorite books or comics or stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, unlike you two, I fucking love novels. So I was a little baby boy, but
Nerd.
nerd, yeah. My favorite book series of all time is probably the Inheritance series. Anyone watched that horrible Aragon movie?
Yeah.
I actually own all the books, but since I can't fucking read, it's a struggle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I read them all. I remember the last one. It took forever to come out. Like, not George R. R. Martin level forever, but like definitely longer than expected. But I don't know. By the time they got out, I read them all, loved them. I think I've read them all more than I think I read the whole series because I had and it was grade 9. I think I got a concussion. The story of my life, and my doctor's like, yeah, maybe try to avoid screens, but like if you want, you can read, and that would probably like help, like pass the time, and you like wouldn't hurt your head. I was like, cool. So in the month that I had a concussion, I went through the first 3 books.
Fuck,
I think
that's a
first
lot
one's
of
like
reading.
600 pages, second one's like 750 or something like that. The third one's like 800 and something.
Boy.
So yeah, that was an eventful month of me going to school, then going home and reading from like 4 till like 9, where I'd eat and go to bed early because I was fucking dying of concussion symptoms. So
I can't.
yeah.
You know, Erin's like a crazy reader. Like, I'll be reading a comic book, and she'll be reading a chapter book, and after I finish one chapter in the graphic novel, so like one issue, she's read 3 chapters.
Yeah.
And I would read too if I could read at light speed.
right?
I don't know how you access the Speed Force and do this,
Apparently
but
she can.
it's crazy. That's like one of the hard things about reading for me. It's
So slow.
It's so slow, and especially when you don't have the pictures to
right?
put you into it. It's hard to get in there when you're just moving at such a slow pace.
I know what you mean.
But anyways, Inheritance. There's 4 of them, right?
Correct.
Is it like 1 goes into 2, goes into 3, goes into 4? Is there prequels or is there spin-offs? Like, how does that work?
It's sequential order. It's Aragon. Oh fuck, what is it? Aragon, Eldest, Brissinger, and then Inheritance is the last one, I think.
Yes, you were right.
It's
I
been
own them
forever
all,
since
but
I read
don't
them.
read.
But yeah, no, they kind of just lead into each other like just a normal sequential book in that order.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably more like your girlfriend in that aspect. I read relatively quickly. I sure be loving my MCAT speed on the fact that I read really fucking quickly compared to other people. So
Cool.
I don't know, but yeah, it's. You guys said you did see the movie, right?
Yeah.
I saw it like when it came out on DVD a long time
Yeah,
ago
me
because little me was like, cool, dragons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So take that movie and then like put it onto a book, but like make it about 1,400 times better. And that was like
And
the first
1,400
book, which is, like,
pages
what got me
longer.
hooked. Because like I don't know, the movie's just bad, and the book is like so much better. That's like it was like probably the first big book series that I read through like from start to finish. Like obviously I read novels here and there, and like I read like books, but like series wise, like that's probably the Inheritance series is probably the first one I went like start to finish, like read them all page to page, and yeah, it's a good memories there, good memories for me. Love them dragons and the magic, and I mean at one point I almost spoke the language. Like there's a point in time where I wouldn't say fluent, but like if someone had said something to me in Elvish, I would have been like, yeah,
Okay,
gotcha.
Elvish.
Fair enough. Is it like a Elvish language? Is it like a? Does it have a name?
I think it's just Elvish, or if it does, it's you know what, maybe it does. I can't remember. It's been.
It's actually Mandarin.
I don't think I've read them since. No, I read the first Aragon again in first year of university, but I haven't read all the series since grade 9 or 10. So
you really didn't have friends in first year.
Huh?
I said you really didn't have friends in first year. If you could read a whole book.
It's only like 500 pages, dude. That's not a big book.
It's so big. I have textbooks that are smaller than that.
Well, it's different when you enjoy the story. I mean,
Were you telling me
cancer, but like
you don't enjoy the story of a textbook?
No.
The beautiful picture it paints of
the only textbook I've ever enjoyed is the one psych one that I read, and that's went out of his way to try and make it funny, and it was so not funny that it was funny. Like he'd make horrible psychology puns in this textbook, and I'd be like, yeah.
Nice.
But no, I don't know. When you're really into the story in a novel, I find, and obviously it doesn't go for everyone, but I find that it's hard to put it down. Like there have been times where I sat there and read for hours because like I'd be like, all right, I'll do one more chapter and throw it down. I get to the end of the chapter, I'd be like, fuck, one more chapter, another chapter. Oh, I guess I'll do one more, and I just kept going and going, and later, and then it turns into hours of time. Like a good novel to me is one that you just can't put down because it's hooked you. So.
I'm way too ADD for that. I can't sit still long enough to play video games, let alone read.
That's fair. It's not for everyone, and I understand that. I'm not gonna. It's not the '70s where I'm gonna say only intellectuals read novels. Like it's what it is, and it's a taste. It's an acquired, or not even acquired taste. It is just whether you like it or you don't. But I love novels, so.
When I was in elementary school, probably around grade 6-ish, that would have been like probably the second last book series I ever read, like chapter books. The last one I ever read was probably grade 10. It was The Hunger Games. But in grade school there, have you guys heard of The Guardians of Ga'Hoole?
No.
Yeah. What is... that sounds really familiar.
It's basically a book saga about owls. And like this kingdom of owls. And like there's like an owl civil war and stuff, and like it's... Did
that get turned into a movie recently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a movie.
Okay.
But
I wouldn't say recently though. I don't think it was recent.
No, it was probably maybe like 7-8 years ago.
Jeez, we're old.
But there's 17 of them, I believe, and
Books?
I read them all, and that was a journey. But they're really easy reads. Like they were for elementary level, and they were like probably 150, 200 page books. So yeah, I read that. That was a journey. I felt so accomplished after that, but I can't do it anymore. Just something happened.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yep. Andrew made the motion of drinking, in which I assume he meant water.
Yeah, of course. Even though we're totally legal.
Yeah, but still. Did you guys want to talk about some video games for a bit?
Oh, I wasn't done with books.
Oh, Andrew had more than one. Oh, I guess comics. I totally forgot about comics. I have things to talk about for comics. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah.
Stupid.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so my big thing right now, and it's been my big thing since grade 8, mostly because I'm the only one I know that reads it until I got Erin to read it, and now she's hooked on it, is The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah.
So, The Walking Dead's my favorite property right now. It's fucking amazing. The story behind that is I was in grade 8. I saw on ads, new Walking Dead show from the books, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool, zombies, whatever. I wasn't really, like, super into it. I just kept on seeing these advertisements for this Walking Dead show. I'm like, okay. My Nona takes me to the library one day because she wants to pick up the new old lady book.
Whatever known as Reed.
Whatever known as Reed. And she's like, you could pick up a book too. I'm like, okay. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm looking around and I happen upon the comic book section. I haven't read a comic book since Bone.
Yeah.
Bone's like the only comic books I've ever read. And this is after like I've pretty much given up reading. And I'm just walking around. I see The Walking Dead. I'm like, hey, they're making that show on that. So like I open it up and like a couple pages in, it's all in black and white, so that's cool for me because I'm like used to like this color property. And like people are getting shot and shit's going down. I'm like, they're swearing. I'm
Nice.
like, holy fuck, what is this shit? And
Yeah.
I'm in grade 8, and like I'm not super into like ultra violent, graphic, sweary content.
Yeah.
Like it's been around, but I haven't like been invested in something that has utilized that format. And like they're going for there's nudity, there's gore, there's swearing. And it was so different from anything I've ever read, and I started reading it, and I've been reading it weekly, or not weekly, like as it's been coming out ever since.
Wow.
And like it's a journey. There's 20, I think the 28th trade paperback just came out. So whatever 28 times, I think there's like 11 issues or something like that. There are probably 200 plus issues right now.
Wow.
And it's been a lot, and I've another thing that I've grown with, and these characters have become so important to me, and I care what happens, even though from that first book
there's probably like 2 same characters.
2 people, but
Rick and Daryl.
no, Daryl's not even in it.
Oh wow. Oh, he's not a
He's a
book
show
character?
guy.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's one of those things that it's been like my thing. Like I haven't really known it. I haven't known anyone that's read them with me. Like this has been very much my thing, and I got Aaron to read them because I needed someone to talk to about it because there was some things going down. I'm like, okay, you got to read this because I need to talk to a human being about it and not read online forums.
Yeah.
And it's great. Recently, he just announced, Robert Kirkman, the author, said that he's moving into the last arc of the series. So it's gonna come to an end probably within the next couple years.
Oh boy.
And it's been a lot, and I love it so much. I love it so much.
That's fair. I've never read the comic books. I heard they're really good. I watched the show, the first couple of seasons of the show, but
I'm not a fan of the show.
No?
No.
I
watch it with my dad weekly because he likes it, because he doesn't really care too much about like plot or character choices.
Good things.
He just likes watching stuff happen. So I watched the show so we could have a little bit of bonding time, and I could see the characters played on live action, but I'm not a fan of it. I don't really like the show that much. It's very boring and not as compelling.
Right.
That's fair. I like the first couple seasons, but I really fell off. Like, I think I started trying to watch the last season, and then like I got a couple episodes into it and just stopped watching because I couldn't get into it. So.
Yeah. But no, just the whole comic book property. It's so good. It makes me feel some type of way.
Oh yeah. See, I wish I could read more comic books. Like, there's so many comics I want to read that I just don't have the time to read or the money to read. But probably the one thing that I've read fully and really enjoyed was Watchmen.
Okay. I read that in the summer.
Yeah, me too. I really liked it. It was much better than the movie, and the movie was quite good. It just, they had to cut out a few things and some storylines and stuff, but it was really fun. It was really dark, really gritty. After reading that, I think Dr. Manhattan might be one of my favorite DC characters now. Like,
cool.
He's so intricate and weird, and all the characters were really fun and
I
fucked
really liked
up.
Rorschach.
Yeah.
Rorschach.
You nailed it.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. The comedian I really liked because he was
the worst.
He was the worst, but he just kind of understood the world he was in.
Yeah.
Like, it was just really good. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good read. Obviously, it's a fantastic book, but I don't know. A lot of things went over my head if I'm being totally honest. That I had to read like summaries afterwards and just kind of like analyses just to fully appreciate and understand everything that they did. There was like a lot of complex things, especially coming from someone who doesn't read a lot of books. I'm used to like TV or movies just playing stuff out for me. So I appreciated it and I thought it was fantastic, but a lot of things went over my head that I had to put some more effort into understanding them.
Fair.
So I don't know. I like something that's a little less complex, but I very much appreciate it for being this piece of work.
Yeah. There's so many things I want to read. I just can't.
I'm the type of person that I own probably over 100 graphic novels, and I've probably read about 60 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like collecting and buying things. I really enjoy physical copies, unless it's TV or movies, then I'm a total fucking pirate. But no, I really like collecting stuff, and I have so much that I want to read, but time.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, I don't know. Even for movie and TVs, I like having hard copies. I have like all Legend of Korra on DVD and like all the movies I like I have on DVD. So I don't know. I'm a stickler for physical copies, but I don't know. The thing about reading that's different from like movies and TV shows is like you don't really have to go through all of it at once. Like if you sit down for a movie, like I feel like unaccomplished if I only watch an hour and then turn the movie off, or like TV show if I watch like say it's like Arrow or something. If I watch like 20 minutes and then turn it off, it's like I feel like I haven't really completed my mission.
Yeah.
Whereas like you can read a chapter of a book in like 10, 15 minutes and then you can just walk away, or even you can even really walk away in the middle of the chapter. It's not as satisfying, but most of the time it still works unless you're in the middle of like some super intense part. So I don't know, like reading is relatively easy. Like it's easy going. You can do really short bits or like marathons, and either way you can walk away feeling pretty alright about it.
Easy. Yeah. Are you guys okay with not talking about video games? We've just been talking for like an hour and a half.
That's fine.
How long's been going on?
You want to try that one again? Can you hear us?
Nah, I can, yeah.
Alright. There's a lot of space, so I'm just going to edit around this.
No, that's fine.
Well, if anyone wasn't 100% aware, it is Thanksgiving weekend. We're thankful that we're nerds and have all prime time for all this nerd properties that we get to enjoy. I think that does that.
That can
That does that.
Next week, we're doing another trivia episode, so tune in that for the last time I'm going to be called Mr. Poopy Butthole. Maybe.
Don't get too cocky.
If you want to reach the show, we're on Twitter at the Mediocre Co. We are... Fuck off. My email... I
thought the email was the Mediocre.
No, it's the Twitter.
Oh, God.
The email is themediocreco@outlook.com. I'm in talks, and by in talks I mean I received one email and haven't heard back from this other SoundCloud-like website, so we might be on there soon, which would be really cool. But don't hold your breath, because that might... Oh shit, he's holding his breath. Fuck, both of you are holding your breath. Do you guys just not listen to me? I'm gonna see how long Andrew's gonna hold his breath for. No, I'm pinching your nose. All right. Fuck. God damn it. Lower your expectations, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
I win.
Yeah. Well, that was good.
You're good.